Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot forecast here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of July 25th through 31st, and we're going to be finding out what the message is for you, what you can expect for this coming week. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and please share this video on your social media. All right, let's jump right into it. This is for Aquarius for the week of July 25th through 31st. Let's see what we got going on here. So we've got the Five of Discs to start us out. All right, well, I'm thinking that you're going to be going through a little bit of financial difficulty, but I do think, and I'm just going to say right off the bat, I think everything's going to be fine in the end. But I think this week is going to be a little bit of a financial challenge for you. I feel like you've been recently going through some major changes, or some major changes are really going to start happening at the beginning part of this week. I think the challenges are going to be financial, but I think more than that, it's going to be your reaction and your response to those difficulties, okay? So for the immediate present, for what's happening right now, I think there is this five energy. Okay, I think things are really being shaken up. I think the stability that you had in your finances is being shaken up with the Five of Discs here. So I think there is some financial anxiety, some money worries coming your way this week. I feel like you're taking a little bit of a hit somewhere. Either there's a large expense, or there was an unexpected bill somewhere, or you lost some money on something, some kind of investment. But I do feel that maybe you had your fingers crossed for something and it just didn't work out, and there is a little bit of a loss there, and you're experiencing a little bit of anxiety and some money worries, like I said, because of this situation, because of this loss. Now I feel like with the Five of Swords, this really is you just over-analyzing the situation, trying to find out what went wrong, what you could have done differently, why did this happen. And I think it really starts sinking into a lot of self-criticism, and almost kind of a depression and just like a self-loathing kind of vibe over this. And I really think that in the immediate future, because we have the Seven of Swords, I think that this kind of overthinking, over-analyzing, and, forgive the expression, but it seems like you're really kind of beating a dead horse about this. I don't think there's really much more you can figure out or understand about this. Sometimes things just don't work out and you have to take the loss. So I think that, beating yourself up over this, or really getting down on yourself and overthinking, overanalyzing is not the way to go. I feel like that's not going to be productive at all. I do feel like you're someone that takes a lot of pride in your accomplishments, and so taking some sort of a loss like this is definitely damaging to your ego, okay? And not only with the Queen of Wands, but we have the Emperor here down below, showing that you like to be in charge, you like to be successful. I mean, we all do. But you in particular have a sense of pride, and I think it really affects your sense of self-worth when things don't go quite according to plan. I think more than this just being a loss of a little bit of revenue, or maybe you lost your job, maybe there's that unexpected expense or bill somewhere. More than that being the problem, I think the problem is your reaction to it. Like I said, it's you're really taking it as a hit to your self-worth and your sense of value in yourself, and your sense of pride, and your sense of your sense of self-worth, really. So I think, like I said, more than it being a financial matter in particular, I think it's really about your reaction to it and how that affects your vision of yourself, okay? Because again, we have the Emperor. So I feel like you are someone who really does take a lot of pride in their accomplishments, takes a lot of pride in their hard work, likes to be in control, doesn't like these kind of unexpected things happening that shake things up. I think you like to know what's going to happen. You like to be in control, and you like to have, you like to know ahead of time what the future is going to be in a general way, because you like to be prepared and you like to have that control, like I said. Though I do feel like this is kind of, it's just a small detail in a larger scheme in your life, and it's one, I think, of transforming this way that you think and value yourself, and the way that you're experiencing these kinds of upsets and failures and losses and the money anxiety. I think it's really about kind of transforming the way that you deal with those and the way that it affects you internally. Okay. We also have the Hermit card here. So I do think that a lot of this is causing you to kind of turn away, turn more into yourself, and to, kind of limit your contact with your friends and family. And I think that they kind of see that you alienate yourself when things don't quite go your way, when there's a little bit of an upset. Maybe you react to it a little too severely, a little bit too, you kind of overvalue, or you exaggerate maybe the consequences of the situation. And so I really think that you kind of alienate yourself from the people around you, from your loved ones, friends, and family. And I think they notice that. They notice that when there are these kinds of upsets, you do tend to just withdraw into yourself, and maybe that's not such a good thing. But the people around you are aware of that, and I think for the most part, I think they allow you that space in order to deal with the situation in your own way. But again, as the immediate outcome card here, we see the Seven of Swords, and this card, the keyword is futility. And I think it's really indicating that this pattern of analysis and overthinking, and really getting down on yourself about these kinds of situations, is just not leading anywhere. It's not doing anything productive. It's not benefiting you in any way. It is a rather futile endeavor for you to just have this constant self-criticism and really devaluing yourself when some things like this happen, because the fives are always going to be in the mix. I mean, they're right in the center of between 1 and 10. They're right in the middle. They're going to occur just as often as the other kind of joyous or profitable moments, and we're going to get to some of that in the more long-term outcome cards that we see up here. But first I want to emphasize that these cards are going to occur. This kind of situation is going to happen probably pretty often on average for the average person. We're all going to experience some losses. We're all going to take some hits. There's always going to be this chance of anxiety and money worries and financial instability, or something that just comes and temporarily shakes up the stability that we have. We also have the Moon card here as kind of a shadow on this whole situation, and I think this is kind of saying that it is a bit of a dream or a bit of a fantasy, an unrealistic expectation to say that these kinds of financial troubles or these difficulties in life. Now, again, this isn't necessarily a financial loss. This could really be anything related to the element of earth. So it could be health, home, finances, any of those kinds of physical things. It could be a health situation just as easily as a financial situation, but I'm using the finances kind of as an example here. But it could definitely apply to other aspects of the earth element. But I do think that it is a bit of a fantasy, a bit of a delusion to assume that this just shouldn't happen, or that you can be always 100% in control and in charge and ready for these things. You're never 100% prepared. And you're never in 100% control by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think your imagination goes there, and I think you kind of have this fantasy that you are in control, or that you should be in control. And I think that really leads to a lot of your self-doubt and self-criticism, because you're finding that you're not always in control or 100% prepared. Okay, and I do think again that this the Queen of Wands here is representing your kind of disproportionate reaction to these situations. I think you really kind of blow them up into something more severe than it is, and then you start with this cycle of self-doubt and self-criticism. and alienating yourself from other people. Now, there really isn't any easy solution. The cards here aren't saying what you need to do, what you should do, what the future will be, none of that stuff. But we do have these two cards as the two final cards of the reading today. And first we have art or temperance, and I think this is just being aware of how you react and trying to moderate your responses, trying to temper yourself when these situations occur, and really try not to overreact, try not to make a mountain out of it. Try to just assess the situation and strategize and use your intelligence and your wit and your intuition to plan the next course of action or the best way to handle these kinds of situations. And again, if this is financial or health related or something related to the home, the same things apply here really. And it's really a matter of assessing our responses and trying to plan our responses. And so it's not just like a knee-jerk reaction to everything, that we take a little more time and we have a little more strategy in our behavior and in our responses. And as the long-term outcome, there is success and health and beauty and happiness and fertility and productivity and all these wonderful things that we see with the Empress card, a lot of love and happiness. So I think that these upsets are temporary. I mean, these are just pip cards. These are just the fives. They're strong cards, yeah, especially there's two of these cards together, two fives. And I mean, they look similar. They don't look like happy cards by any means. But the major arcana has really some heavyweight strength, a very powerful card. The Empress is one of the just most wonderful, beautiful, productive, successful, happy cards of the entire tarot deck, in my opinion. And so this is a great way to end a reading, and just as a little bit of reassurance, a little bit of optimism that things are gonna get better and you're gonna be able to get through this. I think, relatively unscathed. But in the immediate future, in this week, I think it's really important for you to realize how kind of destructive your negative thinking is, your self-doubt, your self-criticism, and the way you get down on yourself when these kinds of failures happen, I think is just, you're kind of picking away at yourself the way these swords are picking away at that central sword. And that's not going to be good for you. That's not going to make any kind of progress. It's not going to help the situation much, I don't think. And that's what I think these cards are telling me today. And then back to the Death card here. This is, like I said before, this is kind of the recent past. This is more of where things are coming from. And I think it is just kind of an evolution, a transformation in the way that you deal with stress and you deal with these troubles and these trials that we all have in life. And so I think it's really, this card is a heavyweight card, and then also the art card, and then finally we have the Empress card. So I think these three cards are a natural progression in this situation. I think it really is this evolution, this transformation of kind of your old way of dealing with the situation, your old responses. You're starting to kind of analyze these responses, and you're starting to temper yourself, and you're starting to kind of work on that transformation in a conscious way where you're just, you're understanding how you've been reacting, you understand how you want to react, and then you're trying to make the little adjustments along the way in the moment. Okay, we can think about it all we want and say, oh, well, next time I'm going to be a little bit less emotional. I'm going to try to stay calm. I'm going to try to get some counsel from my friends or loved ones, and I'm going to try to make a better decision. But then in the moment, it's really hard to fall back on all of that strategy, right? So it's just, planning ahead, but then in the moment, just trying to do your best. Okay, and I think ultimately it's going to become this Empress, and the wonderful success and love and happiness and beauty and productivity and wealth and all of these great things, I think are in your future. And it's just primarily dealing with these swords here. These are kind of the fly in the ointment here are these sword cards. So anyway, Aquarius, I think the message has come through pretty clear. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I thank you very much for letting me read for you today. This was your weekly tarot forecast for the week of July 25th through 31st on Dove and Serpent Tarot.